The fall of Constantinople, a defining moment in history that changed the world. The fall of Constantinople on May 29, 1453, was not just the fall of a city, it was the dramatic end of the Byzantine Empire and the rise of the Ottoman Empire as a dominant power in the Eastern Mediterranean. This event marked one of the most significant turning points in world history, altering the political, religious, economic, and cultural landscapes of both Europe and the Middle East. For over 1,000 years, Constantinople had been a beacon of Christian civilization, its impressive walls standing as a symbol of the Eastern Roman Empire. Its fall signified not only the collapse of a mighty empire, but also the ushering in of a new era in world history, affecting trade, religion, and intellectual movements. Let's delve deeper into the dramatic events leading to the fall of this iconic city and the lasting impact it had on the world. Constantinople, the jewel of the Eastern Roman Empire. Constantinople, founded by Emperor Constantine I in 330 AD, was the heart of the Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire. Strategically located at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, it was a thriving hub of commerce, culture, and learning. The city, with its majestic Hagia Sophia, served as a symbol of Christian power and wealth for centuries. Its location on the Bosporus Strait made it a critical nexus for trade and communication, connecting the Mediterranean to the Black Sea and, by extension, the markets of Europe and Asia. Despite its grandeur by the 15th century, the Byzantine Empire was struggling to maintain its dominance in the face of continuous external threats and internal strife. The decline of the Byzantine Empire. By the 14th century, the Byzantine Empire had already experienced significant territorial losses due to repeated invasions by various forces. The Crusades, which began in the 11th century, had drained the empire's resources and weakened its military and economic power. The loss of critical territories to the growing Ottoman Empire further crippled Byzantine strength. As the Ottomans advanced, Constantinople remained the last significant stronghold of the Byzantine Empire, surrounded by expanding Ottoman forces. By 1453, the empire was a shadow of its former self, isolated and struggling to defend its once great capital. Mehmed II, the conqueror who would change history. The fate of Constantinople was sealed by Sultan Mehmed II, also known as Mehmed the Conqueror. Ascending to the Ottoman throne in 1444, Mehmed had a clear vision: to conquer Constantinople, end the Byzantine Empire, and make the Ottoman Empire the dominant force in the region. Recognizing the symbolic and strategic significance of Constantinople, he knew that capturing the city would not only end Byzantine resistance, but also cement his position as a global power. In 1452, he initiated preparations for the siege by constructing a massive fortress, Rumeli Hisarı, along the Bosporus to sever the city's vital supply lines and prevent any aid from reaching it. The Siege of Constantinople, a struggle against overwhelming odds. When the Siege of Constantinople began in early April 1453, the odds were stacked against the Byzantines. With only around 7,000 defenders and a population of civilians, the city's defense was woefully insufficient to withstand the might of the Ottoman army, which numbered over 100,000 soldiers. The Ottomans employed cutting-edge military technology, including massive cannons capable of breaching Constantinople's formidable walls. Among these, the Basilica, one of the largest cannons ever built, relentlessly pounded the city's walls, weakening them day by day. The Byzantine defenders, led by Emperor Constantine XIV Palaiologos, fought bravely, but their resources were insufficient. They sent desperate pleas for help to Western Europe, but the response was limited. Only a small contingent of soldiers, primarily from the Italian city-states, arrived to assist, leaving the Byzantines vastly outnumbered and unsupported. For weeks, the Ottomans bombarded the city, and despite the defenders' valiant efforts to repair the walls, the inevitable seemed imminent. The final assault, the end of an era. After weeks of unrelenting bombardment, the Ottomans launched a final, decisive assault on May 22, 1453. The defenders fought fiercely, but the sheer force of the Ottoman army proved overwhelming. Emperor Constantine I, realizing that the city's fall was inevitable, led a desperate charge against the Ottomans. However, he was killed in battle, marking the official end of the Byzantine Empire. On May 29th, the Ottomans breached the walls of Constantinople, and the city fell. The aftermath: the rise of the Ottoman Empire and the fall of Christian dominance. The fall of Constantinople had profound consequences for both Europe and the Islamic world. For the Ottomans, the capture of the city was a monumental achievement. Constantinople, renamed Istanbul, became the new capital of the Ottoman Empire, symbolizing the empire's dominance and its transition from a regional power to a global one. The Hagia Sophia, once the largest Christian church in the world, was converted into a mosque, marking a symbolic victory of Islam over Christianity in the region. The Ottomans would go on to expand their empire, controlling much of southeastern Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa for centuries. Europe, the fall of Constantinople was a catastrophic blow. It signaled the end of the Byzantine Empire, which had long acted as a buffer against the expansion of the Ottoman Empire into Europe. It also marked the end of the medieval era and the beginning of the Renaissance. As scholars and intellectuals fled the city, they brought with them valuable manuscripts and knowledge, spurring a cultural and intellectual awakening in Europe. The fall also disrupted traditional trade routes, prompting European nations to search for new routes to the east, which led to the Age of Discovery and eventually the European colonization of the Americas. Religious shifts and the decline of Eastern Orthodox Christianity. Religiously, the fall of Constantinople marked a significant shift in the power dynamics of the Eastern Mediterranean. For over 1,000 years, Constantinople had been the center of Orthodox Christianity. Its loss to the Ottomans, a Muslim empire, effectively ended the dominance of the Eastern Orthodox Church in the region. While the Ottoman Empire became a major center of Islamic culture, Christianity continued to thrive in Europe, and the Eastern Orthodox Church maintained its presence, albeit under the shadow of Ottoman rule. Legacy and lasting impact on world history. The fall of Constantinople was not just the collapse of a city. It was the beginning of a new era. It signified the end of the Byzantine Empire and the rise of the Ottoman Empire as a world power. The event had a ripple effect across the globe, influencing the political, religious, and cultural landscapes of both Europe and the Islamic world. It marked the end of medieval Europe and the rise of the Renaissance, the Age of Discovery, and the expansion of the Ottoman Empire. The fall of Constantinople changed the course of history and left an indelible mark on the world that would last for centuries. Conclusion: the fall of Constantinople, a turning point in history. The fall of Constantinople on May 29, 1453, is one of the most significant moments in world history. It marked the end of an empire, the rise of a new power, and the beginning of profound changes that would shape the world for centuries to come. The Ottoman Empire, as the inheritor of the city, expanded its influence across vast regions, and the events surrounding the fall sparked intellectual, cultural, and geopolitical transformations across Europe and the Middle East. The fall of Constantinople was not just the fall of a city, but the dawn of a new chapter in world history. Stay updated on historical events. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories that will take you through pivotal moments in history. Keep exploring with us as we continue to unravel the events that shape the world we live in today.